I'm grateful for this opportunity to share with you some of the things that I've learned. I'm a mother of 8 children that wants to be prepared. I believe the beginning of my preparation was in 1970 when my husband and I went to Tonga for 3 years. And it was one of the greatest experiences of our life. But 7 months after we got there, I had a baby born there. And I could write a book about that experience. It was really, really amazing. And the thing I learned so much during those 3 years was how grateful I was to live in the United States. Because we are so blessed. We have so much. The people in Tonga are a third world country. And they're wonderful, beautiful people. And a lot of people say, well, that's a third world country. We wouldn't have those problems. But you know, if we lost our utilities, we could be in the same situation as the people over there. We're very blessed because we have so much. But I just want to share with you some things that I learned. While we were in Tonga, we had to boil our water every day. One day my husband said, I don't think we need to boil the water. I'm not going to drink boiled water today. So he didn't, and he got sick. Well, I never one day went without boiling my water. We had a custodian that would clean the water tanks behind each of our homes. My husband taught school for the church over there at Liahona. And one day my husband asked the custodian, why do you clean the water tanks so often? And he says, well, we have to get the dead birds and rats out of the water you drink. And he was serious. After we were in Tonga for 3 years, we came home to Taylorsville, and we lived in our home on Huntington Road for 18 years. And I was called to be homemaking leader in that ward. And the Relief Society president said, I want you to pray and ask the Lord what classes we should teach for homemaking night. And so I did, and I kept getting the prompting, emergency preparedness. And so she said, okay, we will have a class every month on that subject. So the very first month, we had the Red Cross come and speak to us on earthquakes. You know, we've heard for years that we're overdue for an earthquake. And so this man that spoke to us from the Red Cross had been to Japan when they had their earthquake, the last one. And he told us, he says, I don't care how much food and water you have, the number one most important thing is sanitation. More people die after a disaster than during. And if you don't have proper sanitation, you will be sick. And you won't be worrying about how much food you've got. And so I said to him, I raised my hand and I said, well, if sanitation is so important, do you have a sanitation kit we could put together? And he said, oh, just get a bucket and throw some things in. And he named a few things. And I went home that night and I thought, boy, if it's that important, I am going to make a sanitation kit. So I put together a sanitation kit after I had done a lot of praying. But the first thing I did is I went to a janitorial supply store. And I told them what I wanted to make, and they told me some things that we needed to have. And this is my sanitation kit that I made. It's a 6-gallon plastic bucket with 11 items inside. Now, I have a paper that I tell everything that's in it. Of course, toilet paper is one of the most important things in there. Rubber gloves. These are garbage bags to line it with. And this is a bathroom cleaner to clean your toilet, and it can kill HIV, tuberculosis, and salmonella germs. They told me that if you can get a cleaner that can kill those germs, it pretty well will get any germ that you have. And then the most important thing, this is called Supersorb, and it looks like sawdust. You just put a tablespoon of it in the plastic bag, and it expands and turns everything into a gel. So if you had, say, 2 gallons worth of liquid, it would just turn it into a gel, so it would be very light. But the thing that's so good about it is it takes away the toxins and the smell, and it gives you a lemon scent. Now, if you talk to the people in Haiti, what's their biggest problem? The smell. I mean, dead bodies, dead animals, just sickness. And I read in the newspaper just a couple of days ago that the biggest problem in Haiti right now is sanitation and rehydration. So many people are dehydrated. I've had so many people say to me, well, it wouldn't happen here. If we had a problem like that, the church would drive up in trucks and take care of us. Not true. We are expected to take care of ourselves. It is not the church's responsibility. It's not anyone else's. This is our responsibility. We are to be prepared, and we've been told for years how to be prepared. The other items I put in are paper towels, baby wipes, baking soda, hydrogen peroxide, and white distilled vinegar. And so I realized a lot of the things I have in this kit are to help with the smell and the germs. And that really is what sanitation's all about. That's the number one problem we keep hearing. And so after I had been homemaking leader for quite a while, the bishop called me to be emergency preparedness specialist. He said, Lana, you might as well do it because you've been doing it anyway. And so I didn't get a book on what to do. And so I had to study a lot. I read a lot of books on it. I prayed a lot. And I had some really interesting experiences through the things I've learned. But I feel like the biggest thing I've learned is through personal experience. Because whenever I started to wonder about these things, I would have a premonition of what I needed to do. And when I was put in this calling, I sat down one day and I thought, okay, we know, he told us when he talked about Japan's earthquake, you just plan on losing all of your utilities. Doesn't matter what the disaster is. You will lose your utilities. And I thought, okay, what are the things we have to have every day if we don't have our gas and electricity and water and sewer? And I realized it doesn't matter if you live in a tent. You still have to go to the bathroom every day. If you go 72 hours without going to the bathroom, you'll be in the hospital. Because that is just a natural thing we have to do.